Hello there. Leadership is not worth it except it is based on truth. If you are not willing or ready or capable of leading by the truth, you should not venture into leadership. A leader who will not lead by the truth is dangerous. The burden of leadership is huge. It is not worth it except you are committed to leading by the truth. My name is Olatunji Shobodu, and I'm here with you once again today. This is Leadership in 30 Minutes. Leadership in 30 Minutes. And, we meet Thursdays, every Thursdays, 11 a.m. West African time. And so today I'll be speaking on the subject of leading by truth. Leading by truth. Leading by truth. This is something that is very dear to my heart. And it's dear to my heart because at Emmet Leadership Academy, where I'm founder and CEO, we nurture leaders based on truth. Our unique proposition is to develop leaders based on truth, is to ensure that the cornerstone of leadership is truth, is to restore the foundation of truth to leadership. And you and I would agree that the world today is not one where truth is celebrated. Unfortunately, for that word, and perhaps ironically, there is no foundation more solid for doing anything, and especially leadership, outside of the truth. Outside of the truth. So today I want to pick my, anchor from John 6, and I would encourage you to read it. You probably need to start from, the very early verses. But I want to restrict myself for this edition to verses 61 to 70. And interestingly, I thought, what a time to do this. My new book is just out, and you can get it on Amazon. I would post a link in the comment section. I'll post a link also in the description, and you can get it. And basically the book, as you can see on the screen, is on the subject of leading by the truth. But I chose to use a different title. Does this offend you? By this there, we're referring to truth. Does the insistence of a leader on the truth, does it offend the followers? Does it offend the followers? And it will offend some followers who are more knowledgeable, who are smarter, will not be offended. It doesn't mean that, it will be convenient for them to submit to the truth. It's almost always never convenient to submit to the truth. But therein lies the sacrifice to benefit from truth. If you find truth that is convenient for you to submit to, you need to re-examine it. There is always a cost. There is a cost to submitting to the truth. There is a cost to operating by the truth. In this particular example, we saw Jesus basically tell the truth. He told the truth to his disciples. And there were many. There were more than the 12. The original 12, and many others had joined after the original 12. And he told the truth. And I'll come back to the truth that he told shortly. But let's leave it at the fact that he told the truth. And then they began to murmur. They began to complain. And they actually did that to his hearing. So they wanted him to hear that they were uncomfortable with his utterances. As it were, they were uncomfortable with the truth. If you speak the truth as a leader and your people are all comfortable with it, probably you are not speaking the truth. Probably you are not speaking the truth. Not everybody will be comfortable with truth. The truth is quite challenging, it's quite demanding, it's difficult. It's powerful. The result of the truth is sweet. All right. But so these fellows, the majority of them rebuffed the truth. And what did they say? They said, this is a hard saying. Who can bear it? I mean, how can a man make this kind of demand? How can a leader speak like this? And some might even think or say to themselves, who do you think you are? I mean, the fact that, you are leading doesn't mean you can make any unreasonable demand on us. This demand is unreasonable. This demand is unreasonable. But the leader was speaking truth to his people. He was speaking truth to his people. And he had them. He had the complaints. He had the murmuring. And I love an aspect. He didn't pretend that he did not hear. Some of us will pretend that we don't hear. We just leave it. Well, if they like, let them obey. If they like, whatever. No. He acknowledged the murmuring, the complaining. And then he asked them a question. He said, does this offend you? Does this offend you? That is, all that I have said, all that I have told you, which is meant for your benefit, does it make you offended? All right? And we understood that they left, so they stopped following. They called off their commitment to him at that point. Why? They couldn't handle the truth. They couldn't handle the truth. Unfortunately, they didn't understand that what he was saying was true. Now, there are many sides to this, which I deal with quite expressly in the book. But, this is a tough situation for leadership. That's why I have a rider title that says how to handle today's tough leadership realities. One of today's top leadership realities for any leader is leading by truth. Because the world today does not appreciate truth, is not committed to truth. Truth is being turned on its head. And many leaders are trying to force their people to embrace falsehood. All right. And to some people, falsehood has appeal. By the way, it's not as demanding as truth. So it's easier to flow with falsehood than it is to flow with the truth. The truth is tough. And it has no respect for sentiment. Truth has no respect for sentiment. Truth is truth. I mean, you may find, diplomatic ways of delivering it, but truth is truth. And a leader must be committed to the truth. A leader owes the following truth. If you will not lead by the truth, please stand aside, because you become a danger to the same people that you are supposed to bless. When you lead with anything short of truth, you risk the lives that have been committed into your hands. And that is the truth. So let's look at, what happened. And so the guys turned around and left. They voted with their feet. We can't do this anymore. I mean, who does this man think he is? He's a Messiah? Big deal. And I love what the Messiah did, because there were still 12 more who were there, the original 12 that he selected, and he turned to them and asked them a question. He said, do you guys want to leave as well? Do you want to go? Do you want to follow them? I mean, what a question to ask. I'd imagine that if you and I were to do that today, we would be regarded as being proud. But that's the truth. All right? If telling the truth makes people think that you're proud, it's all well and good. It's all well and good. You can't, there is no way to speak the truth and insist on the truth without being seen as proud, possibly obstinate, but that's fine. That is the weight of truth. That is the weight of the responsibility on leadership. Leadership is tough because it demands that you uphold truth. And you can look at what Jesus did here as an example to any leader. But if you can discern, you would see that this was not a very comfortable, discussion that took place here. Not everybody can do this. Now, you've lost the majority of those following you. Your leadership is under question. Your leadership is threatened with relevance. What if the others were to leave? You're not even pleading with the others. Hold on, let me explain stuff to you. You are saying to them, gentlemen, do you want to go with the others? Do you want to go with those who cannot handle the truth that I've just told? Now, that tells you of a leader who is not ready to shift or to yield ground. That tells you of a leader who is committed to truth. In fact, that tells you of a leader who would rather not lead than lead people astray. I got that from my wife when we were talking about it, that it's better not to lead if you can't hold the truth. It's better not to lead based on falsehood, because what you'll be doing is leading the people astray. Please don't lead people astray, which is what you do when you can uphold the truth. So he wasn't going to yield, he wasn't going to negotiate the truth, and leadership must not negotiate truth. Now, it's important to emphasize that the subject of discussion here, when you go to the substance of the truth that was being discussed here, that he delivered to them, it wasn't something he hadn't explained. He didn't just issue a decree. He didn't just make a declaration that he did not explain. And the leader owes that obligation to the people. You need to explain the truth. You need to provide an enabling environment for your people to ask questions, for your people to seek clarification. All right? The truth, you don't impose it, which is what you do if you just said it and you're not explaining it. You explain it. You explain it as much as you can. And if they still can't get it, they have a choice to make. There's so much that is loaded as examples for doing leadership right in this encounter. Your people have the responsibility to decide whether to follow you. No leader has the right to demand that anyone should follow. ultimately, people follow you because you have something to offer as a leader. Ultimately. And they have to make that call. But you help them to make that call by telling them what you have for them. Unfortunately, many leaders don't do that. You just want people to follow you and they don't know what's in it for them. I've spoken about that, in some other sessions, but hopefully I'll come to that someday. But that's something that's very important. So in this case, the leader told them, explained to them in various ways. And when it got to the point where they kept on murmuring, and it was clear they couldn't handle it, they understood what he was saying, but they couldn't agree with it. They couldn't live by the truth. They exercised their prerogative, which is to follow or not to follow. And so they left. But the others, the 12 that remained, also exercised their prerogative. And when he asked them, do you guys want to leave? They said, sir, to who are we going? Which leader will we turn to? So we understand why we're following you. I'm paraphrasing now. So you have the words of eternal life. So there was clarity in their minds about why they were following the leader. And everyone following a leader must have that clarity. You follow because of your conviction about what that leader or what his or her leadership has to offer you. It said, we know that you have the words of eternal life. We know why we are following you. We're not grappling in the dark. And so if you are speaking the truth, we know it's for our benefit. We're staying with you, sir. It may not become convenient. It may be tough on us. Others may leave, but we know why we're following you. We know why we're following you. We would rather follow a leader who operates by truth than follow somebody else. And the truth, there's so many dimensions to it. There's so many dimensions to it. When you look at the responsibility of leadership, in many ways, there are different benefits. Recall what Jesus was saying, and this is why truth is very important. In John 17, Jesus was, presenting his report card to the one who sent him. He said, look, I have kept. He said, now you need to glorify me. You need to give me the reward of this leadership because I have delivered on my mandate. All right. He said, so it's time to glorify me. Now he went down and he gave some very important insights. In John 17:17, he said, sanctify them by thy word. Thy word is truth. Thy word is truth. He said, I sanctify myself with the same word of truth. All right. So you can see the importance of truth. How do you set your people aside as successor leaders without the word of truth, without truth? You can't do that, since that's one of the things that the truth does. In John 8:32, he says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall do what? Set you free. Hello? So you want to walk away from the truth? Should a leader not lead by the truth? Do you understand the power of the instrument of truth for accomplishing your mandate as a leader? Freedom. All right? You shall know the truth. The truth. You see the reason why Jesus will not negotiate the truth and why you as a leader must never negotiate truth. You work hard to make sure you know the truth and you operate your leadership by the same truth. And you have to be uncompromising about truth, about every truth that you know. And in any situation where the truth is being spoken, you owe that as an obligation to the people that you are leading and to the people who put you in the leadership position. And you owe that as an obligation to God, by the way. And these are very important. All right. Now, if you look at John 15:3, Jesus was telling the same guys, he said, but you are clean by the word that I have spoken to you. And what's that word? The word of truth. The word of truth. It says you are clean by the words, meaning that the word of truth that I am telling you is transforming your life. That's what a leader does. A leader transforms the lives of those who follow through the words they speak. And the quality of your words is founded, is defined by the truth that they contain. The quality of the words you speak is defined by the truth that they contain, because it is when they contain truth that they have the power to bring about transformation in the lives of those people. And that is your mandate as a leader, to transform the people. To transform the people. All right. So in various ways, you see the importance of truth. You see why truth cannot and must not be negotiated. And you must not be tempted to yield, to vary, to play down. Indeed, to make the truth, all right, more, easier for your people to comply with. No, sir. The truth is the truth. And you have to insist on it. And in the book, I really go deep into so many things. But one of the things I'd like to say is that there is one fundamental truth that a leader must speak. Interestingly, this is something that many of us shy away from, not wanting to be seen as proud, or to be seen as projecting ourselves, or to be seen as misrepresenting ourselves. What was Jesus saying that led to all of this? What truth was it? What was the substance of that truth? And Jesus basically was saying to them, I'm the bread of life. I'm the living bread. He said, you have to eat my flesh and drink my blood. Otherwise, you won't have life in you. Now, the long and short of all of that is he was basically telling them, this is how relevant I am as a leader to your life. He says, look, I'm your leader. I am relevant to your life. You need to pay attention to me. You need to know me for who I am. You need to understand what I'm capable of delivering into your life. You need to set your expectations appropriately so that you can benefit from what I have to deliver into your life. He said, I am that important. All right? Don't get anything mixed up. It's important that you know who you are following. It's important that you know how to take advantage of who you are following. I'm not in this business, this is not play. This is serious business. Leading is serious business. Following is serious business. Because the leader has to shape the lives of those following. The follower has his or her life to present to the leader to be shaped. So it's not games, and shouldn't be allowed to descend to that level. It says, so this is what it is. I'm telling you who I am. Now, this is a big problem because not many leaders can do that. Not many leaders in today's, in contemporary times can look at their followers and say, gentlemen and ladies, let me be clear about who I am and my purpose in your life and what I'm expecting from you. All right. I am this significant. I have something to add to your life. There's a transformation that you would experience that you would not experience if I haven't been given the privilege to lead you. And this is serious business. All right. So you lay it out. And so I need your commitment. I need you to drink from me. That is, embrace what I say. All right? Take my words seriously. Take my instructions seriously. Allow me to deposit what I have into you so that your lives can be appropriately shaped. That's what those gentlemen couldn't handle. That's what they couldn't handle. That's the truth. In that situation, that got them offended. And I love it. I challenge leaders in my sessions to rise up and do that. And the problem is that many leaders don't even know who they are. They are not sufficiently self-aware, nor do they have that conviction of what they have to offer to be able to declare it. What a shame. What a shame. We can't gamble as leaders with the lives of people. Lives are involved with leadership. It's not about the numbers. It's about the people first before the numbers. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So it's crucial to operate on the basis of truth. It's crucial to be able to say who you are. That's just one of the truths. By the way, I have a class called the Class of 12, where I take those who are serious and want to know the truths, certain core truths, cornerstone truths about leadership, through a 12-week program. And we really deep dive into these core truths. They will change your understanding of leadership and the perspective you have and the mindset that you bring, and put power in your hands to do it right, to do it as it should be done. The Class of 12, that is. So what are we talking about? The truth. The truth. The truth. The whole truth, as they say, and nothing but the truth. All right, there is something I want to quickly round up with. And that's when you look at, I want to talk about the fact that operating by the truth requires strength and courage. If you look at Joshua chapter 1, verses 6 to 8, you would see there was a council. When Joshua was going to take over from Moses, he said, gentlemen, be strong and very courageous. It was said repeatedly, meaning that it's very important. And I began to think, why be strong and very courageous, be strong and very courageous? And I discovered that it says, you are supposed to follow all that Moses has said to you, all. You must not deviate from that, not to the right or to the left. So there's a template that you have been given to do leadership as it should be done. And you don't have the prerogative to vary the template. That template is truth. That template is truth. There's the truth about how leadership should be done. And if you want to do it right, you must not depart from it. That truth is not negotiable. That truth is not to be negotiated. That truth is not to be negotiated. So if you think that what Jesus did, anyone could do, you would be mistaken. You have to get to a point of serious conviction, knowing that everybody could disappear. And he didn't mind. I mean, if the 12 chose to walk away, fine. No problem with that. No problem. But to deviate from the truth, no, he wasn't going to do that. And I won't do that. I vowed never to do that. Because the value in your leadership is in the truth. Is in the truth that you represent. There's so much to talk about. Let me leave you with this final word. The personality of the leader must be defined at its core by truth. By truth. We are told that Jesus was full of grace and what? Truth. There is no way to describe him other than truth at his core. Remember, that's why he said in John 14 and verse 6, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He said, I'm the one to follow. I bear the truth. It's my mode of operation. And the promised land is a new experience in life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. One day I'm going to speak on that I am. That I am. So who are you as a leader? That's the truth that Jesus was declaring. In this instance, there are more truths. And he refused. That truth is so important that no one should negotiate it. No leader should negotiate it. But if you don't know yourself, you can't declare I am. You can't. You can't. All right? And when you do that, I mean, it takes boldness to do that. It takes inner strength and conviction to do that. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Hello. No one can come to the Father except by me. Imagine saying that to your people. I am the one to follow. I have the truth. I have access to it. I operate by it. And if you do that in this life, in this company, in this community, in this endeavor, progress is guaranteed for you. All right. That's how it works. Okay, so let me round up here. Let me stop here. Does this offend you? Lead them by the truth. Lead them by the truth. I encourage you to get a copy of the book. If you're interested, check the link. Also subscribe to the channel. Talk to your audience about it. This is what we do once a week. Leadership in 30 minutes, and we examine different aspects of what it takes to do leadership right. And we bring the perspective of the Word of God to the subject of leadership, in addition to my over 30 years of experience. But the Word of God trumps my experience any day. Any day. That's the guarantee that what we teach works. The guarantee that what we teach works. All right. So see you same time next week, Thursday, 11 a.m. And thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me today. And please put your comments in the comment section. Let's have your feedback. It will be great to have your feedback. And go ahead. The book is on Amazon.com. search for it and you can get it. Okay. God bless you. See you again next week. Bye bye.